Namaskar and a very warm welcome to everyone. On this divine occasion of Navratri, the festival where we worship the nine form of Ma Durga, I extend my heartfelt greetings to all present here. For this vibrant and auspicious occasion of Navratri, a festival that celebrates the eternal power of Shakti, we come together at Dr. D.Y. Patil School of Management and Research. Today's program is indeed special because it reflects the essence of Navratri itself, the celebration of women's strength, wisdom, and grace. Each day of Navratri is dedicated to a unique form of Ma Durga. Today, on day 5, we worship Devi Skanda Mata, the goddess that represents motherhood, compassion, boundless strength, blessing her devotees with wisdom and prosperity. Let us revoke her blessings with the sacred shlok. Sinhasanagata Nityaha Padma Shritaka Davaya Shubhadastu Sada Devi Skanda Mata Yashasvini. It means, may Goddess Skanda Mata, seated on a divine lion and holding lotus flower in her two hands, always bestow auspiciousness and success upon us. May the grace of Ma Skanda Mata inspire us all, nurture knowledge, spread positivity, and rise together with strength and dignity. Every auspicious occasion begins with the lighting of the lamp, a symbol of knowledge, wisdom, and prosperity. Lighting the lamp signifies the removal of darkness and spreading the divine light of knowledge. May I now request our esteemed guest, dignitaries on the dais, Joint Secretary Rashi, and Vice President of Media and PR, Shreya, to kindly come forward and lighten the ceremonial lamp, making the auspicious beginning of today's program. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Just as the flame of light burns brightly, may this event illuminate our minds with inspiration, positivity, and wisdom. Let this light guide us towards the success and harmony. Now, carrying forward the spirit of Navratri, it is time to felicitate our respected guest. Now, I request Dr. Kiran Kale, sir, to felicitate our guest, Dr. Rajni Vohra, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. It is our privilege to welcome and introduce our distinguished guest, Dr. Rajni Vohra. Dr. Vohra is a qualified independent director, a seasoned corporate leader, social entrepreneur, mentor, and an internationally published author with a remarkable career spanning over 23 years. She has led cross-functional teams across marketing, education, entrepreneurship, and consultancy, driving innovation, business growth, and transformational leadership. Beyond her corporate achievements, Dr. Vohra continues to champion transformative changes through a global platform, VAR Women, dedicated to advancing the Sustainable Development Goals. She is also driving global projects at Eco Civilization, working alongside Violeta Bulc, the former Deputy Prime Minister of Slovenia. Her journey is a shining example of how knowledge, leadership, and compassion can create ripples of changes across the world. We are truly honored to have her amidst us today. Today, we do not just welcome a guest, we welcome an inspiration, a role model, and a living example that nothing is impossible if one believes in themselves. Please join me in rising to applaud and honor the extraordinary Dr. Rajni Vohra ma'am.
Very good morning to all of you. So good to see you, to meet you all in person. And thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. I always believe that people come to listen to you when they know that you have something valuable to offer. Nobody wants to listen to Dr. Rajni Vohra unless until I ensure that this next 1 year that we are going to spend over here, you will get some key takeaways which are going to be valuable for your life. So when I received this invitation, can I have a mic in my hand? So that would be better. Hello, yeah, that's better. So when I received this invitation by Mr. Sandeep to celebrate, Nari Shakti as part of these auspicious days, Navratras are going on, as you know, I thought of compiling, gathering all my learnings that I have had during my journey that I believe would be valuable for you to navigate your life and career with purpose. Okay, but let me tell you one thing, I don't believe in monologues. I believe in dialogues, which means that I want to make this conversation very, very interactive and like a conversation. It should not be like a lecture. So I request all of you to participate whenever, as and when you feel you need to. Also, I feel that you need to ask me questions if you have any doubt. So can I trust you?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Say it louder. Are you ready?
Yes.
That's better. Okay, so as you can look at the title of the presentation, I couldn't think of the better title. That is Life, Career and Takeaways. Very simple title. And I'm kicking off the session with an insightful quote by one of the most intelligent souls ever on this earth, by Mr. Albert Einstein, who said that wisdom is not a product of schooling. Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. By the way, while I'm talking about wisdom, I'm assuming it that my audience is well versed in both wisdom and knowledge, and they totally understand difference between knowledge and wisdom. So, guys, do you think assumptions is a good concept? Shall I assume it or shall I check it? Check it. So I'm definitely not going to check people who are saying check it. I'm definitely going to approach people who didn't say anything. So I would really appreciate if somebody from the back, from students, could reply me what is their understanding about difference between knowledge and wisdom. What is the difference between knowledge and wisdom? In simple words, you need not to be too technical. Anybody? Please. Yes, please.
Ma'am, I think knowledge comes from reading, but wisdom comes from experience, your own life experiences, maybe, or your own stories.
Right. Spot on. Absolutely. Who else would like to add to what ma'am said? May I know your name, please?
Pallavi, ma'am.
Anybody else would like to add anything what Pallavi stated? Anybody? Did you hear what Pallavi said? Would you like to add anything to it? Okay. So guys, let me give you a very simple example. Like we all know that tomato is a fruit. That's the knowledge. And wisdom is, we know that while making fruit salad, we are not going to put tomato. So knowledge, when I say knowledge is acquired by education institutions, by all the studies, by whatever we learn. So it's a sum total of information, data, and facts, figures, skills that we learn through our journey. That is knowledge. So in nutshell, knowledge is what we know. What we know is knowledge. But important is how to use that knowledge. And that how to use that knowledge is the wisdom. So wisdom is cultivated over a period of time with experiences, with life lessons, with different situations, with insights, introspections, and perspective in a way that we could apply that knowledge with a good judgment. That is wisdom. So in simple words, wisdom is your ability to apply knowledge with good judgment. Is it clear? Great. So moving on to the first 4 slide. Okay. So guys, I am Gen X. Raised during the 80s. I was raised during the 80s. It's always good to know about your audience. So I am Gen X, and I believe that majority of the students here are Gen Z. Is there anyone who is Gen Y? Anyone Gen Y? No? Okay. Okay. People are asking each other if you are Gen Y, if you are Gen Y, because I am Gen Z. Okay. So, because why I am asking it, first of all, it is important to know about your audience, because the life experience that I am going to share with you, they come from the time period which might not be imaginable for you. That come from early 80s. And at that time, society was very different. Society was nothing like the way it is today. It functioned in a very different way. So, for example, I remember that there was a time, like today, girls and boys are sitting together. At that time, girls and boys used to sit in different sides. Left side girls, right side boys. Can you imagine it today? It is difficult to imagine. But that was the norm back in the day. And society was a bit of close, conservative. They were kind of orthodox, especially for girls. They were very conservative. I believe I resonate with many faculty members over here because they have gone through, they have seen that period, how society was back in the day. And back in the day, most important thing was that there were very few professions which were considered decent or appropriate for girls. And that included teaching or getting a job in bank, or at the most, getting into medicine. That be a doctor. That's a decent profession. And even the acceptance of BTech came much later in late 90s, I believe. And if you have read Sudha Murthy's autobiography, you must have learned how she was the only girl student in her engineering college. And that is why there was no washroom for girls. Because they never thought of that someday a girl would take admission in the college, in engineering stream. So that was the challenge back in the day. And I had very much, I knew that the kind of surroundings I was into, Nevertheless, I wanted to build my career in corporate world. I wanted to pursue an unconventional path which nobody took before me. So obviously I had to face lots of resistance and kind of criticism also, which I faced from people around me. But I was very adamant on making my career in corporate, and I appeared for a couple of interviews, and I got selected by one of the renowned companies. That was a pharmaceutical company which is now with the name GSK, GlaxoSmithKline, which was earlier SmithKline only. And the problem was they told me to visit their head office for 2 months training. So that was a tough time because they never sent girl all alone for 2 months away from home. Nowadays it's very common for you guys, like your parents trusted you and they sent you in hostels. But back in the day it was not as common to send girls away from home for 2 months. So many of my uncles, they didn't like the idea of me going all alone there and spending 2 months. But I stood my ground. And I was like, I put my foot down and I said, no, I am clear what I want to do in my life. So this phase of life, this experience of life taught me few lessons which I want to share with you. Guys, please pay attention. This is very important, and that is regardless of gender. This slide is very important. You know what I have learned in life? That it is always better to be right than being nice or good. It's deep. Let me reiterate. It's always better to be right than being nice or to be good. What does it mean? Let's understand. So let me ask you. The moment we say somebody is nice, whom do we call nice? Who are nice people? Who are nice people? Anybody? I'm sure you must have some nice friends, good friends. Honest? Okay. Who praise us? Who praise? Good. Who else would like to try?
Someone who agrees with us.
Great point. Someone who agrees with us. Anybody else would like to make a try?
Supportive.
Supportive. So here, last one.
Who respects us.
Who respects us? So here we came up with few ideas of what makes people nice or likable. But always understand one thing. When people are liking you for a reason. Because you are easy. Easy in the sense, not to take it totally negatively, but easy in the sense that you are easy to get along, you do not argue much, you are kind of someone who hardly says no to anything, so you are kind of always yes. And that's what we human like. हमें ऐसे लोग ही पसंद आते हैं, ज़्यादा हमसे बहस ना करें, है ना? So we are called as nice or good people. But remember, likability is a short-term social currency. Why? Because the day I say no to you, likability will go out of the window. Are you understanding? The day I say no to you, I will become a bad person. Okay? So it's a short-term currency. But when I say being right, what does it mean? So people who are right means people who follow what they believe in. What they say, what they do, nothing is to please people. But because they feel it is right, that is why they are following that path. So when you are right, you are respected, which is long term. You may face lot of resistance from the people around you. People may not like you, but you will be respected. Because you have to have a spine in your life. You cannot afford to be spineless in your life. You should have a say in your life and you should stand by that. That this is what I believe in. Of course, it can be subjective. It may not be totally right. But this is what you believe in. And you have to stand by that. And that's how you earn respect. Okay? So I personally feel, of course, to each one their own, I personally believe it is always a good idea to do right things rather than people-pleasing things in life. Okay, guys, if you have got any questions, please feel free to ask me. And another important lesson that I learned, that if you are not taking decision for yourself in life, then somebody will else take decision on your behalf. But in both sides, in both ways, this will be you who face the consequence of it, good or bad. Even if your parents are taking decision for yourself or you are taking decision for yourself, in both situations, who will face the consequence? You. So if you are somebody who has the nature to point finger and blame at others, it is better you own your decision, you own your choices, and you own the consequence. मेरा decision, मेरे consequence, मेरी acceptance. Instead of saying it was you who made me to pursue BTech, it was you who made me to pursue MBA. I never wanted to do it. So guys, I believe all the core decisions in your life, of course some decisions you cannot take because at that time you are very young, but most of the core decisions in your life you have to take, you should be taking on your own, so that you could take responsibility, take ownership of your decisions. मैंने किया, it was my thing, so it is my responsibility, it is my accountability, and now it is the consequence of my doing only. Not that I am blaming my parents now. So please guys, these are the lessons that I have learned across my journey. So back to the story. I was talking about I joined pharmaceutical industry as a sales and marketing professional, and during that job I was needed to visit even remotest part of India that included many interiors of UP, and you totally understand how the situation was in UP in 80s. So I faced various challenges, but before that I realized that I possibly did not make best of the choice in my career while by getting into it, because I understood that I was good at my profession, but I was not that quintessential salesperson who has ability to sell ice in the Iceland. Are you getting it? Salesship is kind of an inborn talent. You can polish it. You have or you don't have it. So if you cannot sell ice in the Iceland, I would say it won't be a good idea to get into sales. You should be that much convincing. So I realized that I don't have that ability. I was good, I was decent, but not excellent. I realized that profession is not bad, but I was the misfit for that. And I'm absolutely not dissuading boys and girls over here by telling you that. This is my own observation, this is my own introspection about myself. But why I am telling you it? So that when you make such decisions in your life, you take account of your personality before landing into such a role, where you later regret that no, this was not my cup of tea. Okay? So guys, important thing is know yourself, know your personality. Apart from that, what kind of dissuaded me to pursue that profession further? One was the safety concern. Like I said, that I had to visit the remotest part in India, where I had to struggle a lot with the kind of lot of unnecessarily attention that I was gaining, because I was the female professional and people in those parts never saw any female professional before. So people used to kind of stare at me, and that made me very uncomfortable. An infrastructure gap. I think majority of the women, majority of girls sitting over here would agree with me that in India, finding a good, clean, hygienic washroom is still a biggest challenge. Especially if you are a salesperson in tier 2, tier 3 or a smaller town, where would you go? Because you cannot step in those public utilities which are there. They are not usable. At least I don't think we are in the position to use it. And the third was mindset issues. I think at that time our country was not ready to accommodate women into unconventional professions. we often talk a lot about pay parity, gender equality, you know, equal rights. But guys, I'm telling you, ground reality is very different. I want to give you an example. As a part of my job, I was needed to go to stockist, distributors. Okay? Guys, last bench, would you like to come ahead? Okay, this is for you only. Okay, so please pay attention. Okay, so I was talking about the mindset issue, and as part of my job, I was needed to visit stockists, distributors, and many a times stockists used to tell me, "Madam, you please don't come to market." I said, "Why? It's part of my job to take stock situation." They said, "No, ma'am, it's not a good place for you." I totally understand where they were coming from, but that was part of my job. They said, "Madam, it's better you call us. We will give you order of stock situation over phone only." But then I felt I was not doing justice with my job because I'm supposed to be the stockist in person. So these were a couple of the issues that further dissuaded me to pursue that career. So I understood one thing, that my interest and passion perhaps lies somewhere else. I made a wrong choice, so I consciously decided to change my profession, to change my domain from sales and marketing to training and development. But I was also aware that if I want to change my domain after working so many years in sales and marketing, then I will have to start from the scratch, maybe from the same salary which I started with my first company. Also, there would be a lot of struggle because I need to upskill myself. So I decided to pursue PhD because that is kind of a prerequisite to get into education and training and development sector. So guys, that PhD, pursuing PhD was also very challenging, but that's a different story for another day. So I would skip this slide. So my sincere request to all students over here, be it MCA, MBA, or BBA students, to choose your specialization very, very carefully, because your specialization is going to become basis of your internship opportunity, and your internship opportunity is going to decide your future career, because based on that experience, companies would hire you. So if you are stuck in a wrong specialization, if you feel that that specialization is not aligned with your personality, with your non-negotiables, with your values, or somewhere you are not so good at coding, or maybe your interest lies in front end, not in back end, or maybe you are meant for HR, not for sales, but you have already chosen that specialization, what to do now? I would say it's time to take call. It's time to make a right decision. Because I often compare career and life with the highway. When we are driving on highway, what happens? If we have taken the wrong road, if we have taken the wrong path, we know that after further few kilometers, we would get a divider, or we would get some part from where we could take the U-turn. But we cannot deny the fact that in that process, we are wasting our time, our energy, and petrol. And sometimes you cannot predict. In some highways, you may not get U-turn after even 50 kilometers. If you are in US, you may not get U-turn after 100 kilometers. So guys, be careful, because many of you may ask me, "Ma'am, we can always make a transition like you did." Of course I did, but I paid a huge price. Like I said, that you will have to start from the scratch. Like 5 years before, if you started your career with say 30 lakh rupees package, and again after 5 years of experience you are asked to start your career with 30 lakhs, whereas your friends have reached now 60 lakhs, that would be very frustrating. Also, you will have to work with the people of your age who are much junior to you in age. Again, there would be ego clashes कि मैं तो आपसे senior हूँ. It happens. So that is why I often draw these parallels, this analogy of life with the highway. I hope it's clear. Actually, I understood one thing. The problem is when we are young, we are full of energy, we are full of hopes, and there is nothing wrong in it. ऐसा होना भी चाहिए. That is rightly so. And in that process, we feel that we can do any damn thing that comes our way. हम कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. That's a good thought. That we can do any damn thing. But it is never about capabilities or abilities alone. It is also about finding alignment with your personalities, with your values, and your non-negotiable. So guys, the mistake that I made, I want you not to repeat it. I want you to take some lessons from those mistakes and I want you to make conscious decisions, because I have often seen students are in rush to join companies. Maybe it is social pressure, parental pressure, peer pressure, or sometimes you have some financial issues also, which is understandable. People have financial issues also. Nevertheless, ensure that you do not jump into each and every opportunity that comes your way. Understand your personality. Know yourself well. So, one size doesn't fit all. Not everything is meant for everyone. Accept it. Not everything is meant for everyone. If something is good for you, that may not be good for her, and vice versa. Your inner beliefs. Understand your inner belief. For example, when you are in marketing profession, you have to play so many marketing gimmicks, and they may not go down well with your ethics or with your values. Because, for example, if I have to sell a product to someone who cannot afford 10 rupees medicine, but I know that the similar product is available in the market that is costing 1 rupee, and that fellow is a poor chap, it will hurt me inside कि नहीं, वो गरीब आदमी है, I am ditching him, I am deceiving him, वो 1 रुपए का प्रोडक्ट भी मार्केट में मिल रहा है, मैं उसको 10 रुपए का प्रोडक्ट बेच रहा हूँ. So if you feel your inner beliefs are such that it will clash, then think twice. Respect your non-negotiables. Like my non-negotiables were my safety and self-respect. And I'm sure each one of you have your non-negotiables. What are your non-negotiables? What is understanding of non-negotiables? क्या होते हैं non-negotiables life के?
Something which we are scared that if they happen the next day, they will create a fear in us. Something which can create a fear.
Okay, you are close to it, but fear has negative connotation. Non-negotiable is something which cannot be compromised. See, we may not know what we want in our life, but we should definitely know what we do not want in our life. अपने आप चीजें फिल्टर हो जाएंगी. What you do not want in your life, write down. ये मुझे नहीं चाहिए. I want to live with self-respect. I want to live with dignity. I want to live with safety and security. If these are my parameters, then obviously I am going to make my decision based on my non-negotiables. Because no matter what, no matter how much salary somebody is paying me, I am not going to join them. Understanding it? Of course, it is your decision at the end of the day. It is your risk-taking ability. It is your conscious. But this is my understanding. Also, I always tell everyone, especially people of your age, never be afraid of making mistakes, with the condition that you are not repeating the old mistakes. नई गलतियां करो life में. Because if you are not making new mistakes, it means you are not learning. At the same time, if you are repeating the mistake, then also it means you are not learning. So important is to make mistakes with the condition it should be new in nature. So make new mistakes, don't be afraid of mistakes, because from mistakes we are learning our lessons. Also, there are a couple of tips I would like to dispense, I would like to give you. One is build professional network by connecting with experts in your field. I won't be concerned if you are not on Instagram, but I would definitely be concerned if you are not on LinkedIn. How many of you are on LinkedIn? By the way, let me tell you, I am nobody, I am not someone who is going to promote LinkedIn over here. I am not here to promote LinkedIn, okay? But I personally feel LinkedIn is very valuable social media network platform that definitely adds a lot of value to your professional life. So build your network on LinkedIn. How to build network, that I can always teach you. If you need my help in that, I would be more than happy to assist you as to how to build effective network on LinkedIn. Then join professional communities to stay updated on industry trends and news. There are so many groups in city like Pune, even in Bangalore, but city because you live here, where people from startup community meet. And there you get to meet them, you learn from them, and you get the opportunity to make your network. Okay, and generally for students they have almost like not even 500 rupees fee for students. So I would request you, if you can afford 500 rupees, join such network, because they may give you immense value. Okay, again, I'm not here to promote any groups, but if you want my help, I can suggest you few names. Start with small steps and choose the role that aligns with your long-term goal. I want to give you an example. An MBA student approached me. He said, ma'am, actually we have a family business of salons. We have chain of salons in our city. So I said, why do you want to pursue MBA? And his reply was, because he want to gain some industry experience so that he could apply his learnings on his business. And he said, ma'am, I'm getting an opportunity. I said, which sector? He said, I'm getting an opportunity in FMCG sector, sales sector. I said, how do you think that experience will help you growing your business, family business, because that is your objective. If your objective is only to earn money, to make some money, that is okay. But if your objective is not aligned long term, then I don't think it will give you any value other than money. So please make your decisions wisely. I always request students to start their career by working with some startup. Because what a startup can offer you, a big company may not offer you in 10 years. The kind of hands-on experience a startup can offer you, a big giant brand name may never offer you. So it is always a good idea to invest few years of your life in startup. Of course, you will get lesser salary, may not get a bigger brand name, but what you will get in turn? Value. And value is infinite. Money is finite. Okay? Your decision further. But just think about it. Okay. So it's time to discuss about my journey, but before that I want to take a pause and ask you if you have any question or any query so far. I would be happy to answer that. No questions? Everything is so clear, crystal clear? Huh? No questions? Okay, then I have got some questions for you that I'll ask later. Okay guys, so it's time to talk about my entrepreneurial journey. My entrepreneurial journey began in the year 2018 with by founding a startup with the name KNR Party Trend, and the brand name was Vaha Party. That was an online party making platform with the purpose to give you the convenience of one-stop shop for all party needs, regardless of nature. It could be birthday party, personal party, professional party, or any sort of party, as long as that party is legal. Okay? So, Vaha Party was my first startup that I started in 2018. But unfortunately, of course, our business was showing traction, it was gaining traction, and business was gradually picking up. We got to organize some wonderful events across India. However, unfortunately, COVID struck, and everything came crashing down, and we had no predictability, no visibility as to when market will reopen. And since that was a bootstrap organization, we were paying everything from our pocket. That was not a funded organization, so that was coming very heavily on our pocket because we had an office in World Trade Center at that time. So it means we were spending a lot from our pocket, and since we didn't have any visibility, so we had no other option but to shut it down. In 2021, we shut down Vaha Party, but along with Vaha Party, I have another interesting story to tell you. And that story is that life is full of serendipities and pleasant surprises. And the story of Vaha woman is also once a story which was kind of a serendipity and surprise, because so many things in our life happen. If you look in hindsight, if you look back, you would find so many things in your life happen that you never planned. हुआ है ना आप सबके साथ? बहुत कुछ ऐसा हुआ है जो हमने कभी लाइफ में प्लान ही नहीं किया था, और वो अच्छा हुआ है. रिग्रेट नहीं है उसका कोई, मे बी उस टाइम रिग्रेट था, आज रिग्रेट नहीं है उसका कोई. So Vaha Women was such an organization that happened inadvertently, that happened without any planning. So it so happened that the day of launch of my first startup, that is KNR Party Trend, that coincided with International Women's Day. And you know that International Women's Day is on which day? Date? 8th March, right? So 8th March, oh, I said, okay, it's 8th March. So we planned to come up with a campaign because we wanted to kind of launch it in a meaningful way, since it was coinciding with something meaningful. So we decided, instead of launching it with a lavish and fancy party, let's make it meaningful. So we came up with a campaign, and that was Best Out of Waste campaign with plastic. So what we did, we invited few women from in and around. Those, many of them were micro entrepreneurs, and we said to create something fantastic out of the waste plastic. And oh my God, we were absolutely taken aback when we looked at the artifacts they made at the end of the day. And post-event response was very surprising. It was very overwhelming, because post-event I started receiving calls from all over Pune, from many micro entrepreneurs who wanted to participate, and they said, and actually I forgot to tell you that while they participated, I took their 2 minutes interview, and that video I put on some YouTube. And I had no idea to make YouTube something content or something, but just I thought, okay, let's give them respect, let's make them feel valuable, because they spend their valuable day with us. And they felt so happy. They wanted us to carry on with such activities. Okay, so it started with micro entrepreneurs. Then I got some requests from small, medium, mega entrepreneurs. Then during COVID, I started reaching out to world leaders, even film directors like Leslie Woodwin, then even deputy prime ministers of various European countries, even European parliamentarians, ambassadors, diplomats, artists from all over the world. And that's how we featured women from more than 80 countries so far on Vaha Women. So on Vaha Women, we started inviting stalwarts, thinkers, thought leaders, women with leadership, women who were change makers, through brief conversations initially, and later on we started hosting podcasts on some social issues like gender equality, diversity, equity, inclusion, and so on and so forth. So far our focus was only on SDG 5, that is Sustainable Development Goals 5, that stands for gender equality. Okay guys? By the way, how many SDGs by UN? To be completed, to be achieved by which year? 2030, great. So we thought we should now diversify a little, and we should focus on other SDGs also. And since we believe in a lot of cross-pollination of ideas, practices and collaborations, so we closely collaborated with one EU-based organization that was founded by ex-Deputy Prime Minister of Slovenia, Dr. Violeta Bulc. And the name of organization is Eco-Civilization. So we started working for SDG 6, that stands for potable water, as well as SDG 7, 8 and up to 11, that stand for circular economy. I hope you all have at least some idea about circular economy. Okay? And along with eco-civilization, we started hosting webinars. Like in the year 2022, we launched a series of webinars on circular economy. And in the end of the year, we launched the book on all the insights that we gathered across the year, and we compiled, consolidated all the insights in the form of the book. So that was circular economy in 2022. Last year, we again came up with a book on water. Again, we compiled all the insights, and I went to all diplomats, embassies to distribute that book so that there could be some action in the society. And this year, we are working on mental health. This year, we are celebrating, this year, we are focusing on mental health, and we are holding one webinar each year, and like all the years we did, that we would be coming up with a book with all the insights. Okay guys, so this is in a nutshell we have been doing. Also over a period of time, we branched out into verticals like training and development, and on topics like diversity, equity and inclusion, organizational behavior, soft skill, and so on and so forth. So this is what I have been doing, and I have learned one thing in life, because I have made this picture over here that shows rise, fall, that's life. Actually, that's life. You know, we all fall. There is nothing wrong in it. But we should learn how to get up, how to dust ourselves off, how to pick up our pieces, and how to pull ourselves together and run again. वो सीखना चाहिए, and that's called resilience. फेलियर होगा लाइफ में, 10 में से 9 स्टार्टअप फेल होते ही हैं, लेकिन तो भी लोग स्टार्टअप करना नहीं छोड़ते हैं. And the reason, the energy behind it is the resilience. Okay, so guys, I'll take a pause over here, and I would welcome if you got any questions or any queries during the session. I would be happy to answer. Can you speak louder, please?
Good morning and happy Navratri.
Thank you. Same to you.
My name is Gauri, and my question is that you mentioned that you always wanted to get into corporate, coming from the 80s. So how did you have such kind of thinking of today's women back then, and why? What was your reason to get into corporate?
So thank you so much for the question. Thank you so much for the question, Gauri. It's a wonderful question. In fact, I was anticipating this question. So what made me into thinking that I should be building my career in corporate? I would say that I think it's a universe that guided me. Because sometimes we feel that our thoughts are our own, but actually we don't know where those thoughts are coming. Maybe I got inspired by some of the women leaders back in 80s. We had Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, who was Prime Minister, and back in the day there were very few female role models, like Kiran Bedi was one of them. And I didn't see any women into entrepreneur who was famous back then, or I didn't have idea even if they were there at that time. So I wanted to be at least, if not exactly like them, at least around them. So, and what was the second part of your question?
Like what is your inspiration to getting into corporate?
So I answered it.
Yes.
There was one more question I like.
No.
Okay,
that was
it's okay.
I clarified the question.
Okay, thank you so much for that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have a question. My name is Tanishka. Good morning.
Hi Tanisha, good morning.
Ma'am, my question is that once you failed, like at the COVID time, how did you get the confidence and energy to get up again and start again?
I think resilience is the quality that doesn't come overnight. That I have learned across my life. Because guys, if I take you back, even first time in life when you all appeared for board, 10th class, कैसा time था वो? Stressful, 10th board, very stressful period. I think ever since we are in school, that is the first biggest stress, that is board. Okay, so board examination is the first time when all of us learn to be resilient. Actually आप सबने notice किया होगा, हम सब में वो एक, because we are exposed to the situation. Please sit down. because we are exposed to the situation that we never faced before. And I don't think in any Indian household this is a choice कि बेटा fail हो जाओ. नहीं. You have to get through with the good marks. That's a kind of pressure. Okay? Fail होने का तो option ही नहीं है. And when you have such kind of pressure, you will learn to be resilient in your life, because you may not get very good marks, you may not score very well in some of the subjects. Like I was not very good at maths, so maths was always a stressor for me, because no matter how much time I used to spend on maths, nevertheless I knew that I may not score beyond it. So maths was always a stressor, but nevertheless I was a science student too, and I faced maths, I faced my fears. Similarly, I'm sure that most of you were not comfortable with so many subjects in your life. Nevertheless, you dare to take those subjects and you scored well. That is why you are here today. So I think all lessons that we learn across life, if we look at closely, majority of the lessons have taught us resilience. कि गिरो और उठो और भागो, है ना? Be it 12th board, or be it reaching college, institution. Abhi now you are preparing for placement. Now you are preparing for internship. I'm sure it must be giving you a lot of stress. That's not easy. Because it's human nature, whatever we have not experienced in life, we fear that. We feel scared. Because we don't know how it would be, how it would turn out to be. It's a human nature. So I think all of us have that resilience. The only thing is we need to learn from and focus on our good experiences of life, and just think negativities. Just think failures as learning and successes as reward. Your failures are learning. Okay guys, कोई fail नहीं होता life में, learning होती है. Success reward. If you have learned your lesson, you got reward. If you have not learned your lesson, you tag it as or brand it as failure. ठीक है? Life को ऐसे देखो. This is my perspective. ठीक है? Any more questions? Yes, please. Can you speak louder, or you need mic? You need mic. Thank you for the qualification.
Happy Navratri to you, ma'am. My question is that you are from Gen X and you are continuously watching how industry is changing till for Gen Z students. So, can you please tell us what changes happened during this time in the industry, and what things we should adopt to be convenient to that industry?
So may I know your name? Satyam. So Satyam, that's a very good question, and that's a very valuable question you asked. So your first part of the question is what change are happening, that precisely you want to know, that the changes around us which are happening currently, how it will impact your future career and life. Okay, this is precisely you meant, I believe. And the second part of the question, that what is the solution to it. So to answer your first question, I believe there are currently two major things which are happening around us. One is the geopolitical changes, which are very unprecedented, and we all are witnessing the way the whole world is transitioning, especially by recent new rules, policies by US, the tariff structure or their H1B rules. That is one part. So to answer it, that geopolitics is always unpredictable, and it was always unpredictable, and it will always be unpredictable, because as situation changes, things also changes. So it is a variable which we cannot control at all. All we can do is to prepare ourselves for the challenges. This is first thing. Secondly, you are, I think, referring to AI. So AI is something, you said that for Gen Z. I would say that it's not Gen Z who is afraid of AI. It is across the board. People of all age groups, people, even middle age people are also very afraid of AI. Because again, like I said before, that it's a nature of human to fear what we have not seen or experienced. It's a nature of human, na? That we have not been there, so we do not know how AI would impact our life and career. So I want to give you an example that I have recently experienced. I wanted to go to Balewadi Fata. Now to reach Balewadi Fata, I was searching for options from Rambadi. Okay, so what I did, I had two choices to search it. One was through Google search, Google Maps, and the other was AI. So I tried AI to save my time. And my question was that which is the nearest metro for Balewadi Fata. Okay? So the answer was Vanas station. Vanas station. Now Vanas is, I know, 21 kilometers from Balewadi Fata. Whereas I was expecting Dapodi or Bapodi, which is around 8 to 9 kilometers from Balewadi Fata. So AI gave me answer Vanas. Now just imagine a situation that had you been content writer, had you been a marketing professional, or had you been somebody who was into logistics and allocating funds based on the distance, if you had followed that data blindly, I mean, you would have lost your job. So I would say look at AI from the perspective as a co-pilot, but not as a chief pilot. There would always be human intervention needed to monitor AI. AI can be a support, but you always need human intervention. Having said that, I would say it is always a good idea to keep your ears and eyes open, keep learning new things, but do not invest in any course on AI very heavily, because you never know what is in demand today may become redundant tomorrow. So do not invest your funds heavily, but whatever content you have available on internet, keep reading from it, keep learning what is happening around you. You should have knowledge of it, but you need not to afraid from AI. Okay? I hope I could answer your question. And now you won't worry, but prepare yourself. Okay guys, any more questions?
Hello ma'am, my name is Jayan. So my question is that what if my decision is right and it making the situation worse? How should I deal with the conflict with that decision?
So your question is that how to know if your decision is right?
No, how
You
should
feel-
I deal with the conflict between if I am making a right decision and it is making the situation worse? How should I deal with that one?
So it's a very subjective question, because anytime you take any especially major decision, you can expect two things. One is if you have taken any decision which from your perspective was right for you, but still you were facing challenges or a lot of backlash because of it. Understand one thing, maybe when you took your decision, you did not do research well externally, or you did not do research well internally on yourself. Okay? So for example, if I am going to travel today from Kharadi to this institution, I knew that the distance is around 21-22 kilometers. So that was the first challenge, that I have to reach in amidst all traffic by 10 o'clock. Anyhow, okay? So I know about external challenge, that this is external challenge. Internal challenge क्या है कि मुझे उठना पड़ेगा, I will have to get up early in morning, I will have to be ready, I will have to have something, breakfast or something, I will have to be mentally prepared that today I have to travel. This is internal makeup of things. So anytime you are facing some kind of some consequences which are not very favorable for you, for the decision that you that deemed to be appropriate for you at that time, The reason could be that you didn't do your study well on external factor as well as on yourself. Okay, and if you could let me know or in person precisely what was the decision, how it affects you, was that correct, I might be of some help to you. Okay, I hope I could answer your question to some extent. Any more questions? I'm really enjoying the process of answering it, because you know what gives me satisfaction, that finally I could help you in something, steering your life path or your career with purpose. Any more questions, guys? No more questions? Thank you so much. It was indeed a pleasure talking to you, meeting you, and having this great conversation with you. And thank you so much to DY Patil Institute and all the faculty members, especially Mr. Sandeep, who invited me over here on this auspicious occasion. Thank you so much, guys, and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you, ma'am. Just like you mentioned at the beginning, I assure you that we truly got some valuable insights today. A woman coming from Gen X, dreaming to work corporate, facing criticism and finally turning into a successful founder, mentor, director, and whatnot. You're the best example of women empowerment. Let us give her a huge round of applause. Your inspiring words, profound insights, and encouragement have truly enriched today's event and left us with so much to reflect upon. It is indeed an honor and privilege to have you had with us today, and we deeply appreciate the time and efforts you took to come here for this special day. Your presence had indeed immense value to this program and will undoubtedly leave a lasting impression on all of us. With these reflections, let us now advance to the vote of thanks. As we come to the close of this memorable celebration, I take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest, Dr. Rajni Vohra ma'am, for gracing this occasion with her presence today. Our thanks to Dr. Vishal Vadachkar sir for his guidance and constant encouragement. Our heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to Dr. Kiran Kale sir, HOD of Management Program, to Dr. Shikha Dubey ma'am, HOD of Computer Application, for leading today's felicitation and organizing such insightful sessions for us today. Special thanks to all the respected faculty members. Last but not the least, Student Council and colleagues for having their active participation, without whom this event would not have been possible. On behalf of Dr. D.Y. Patil School of Management and Research, I wish you all a joyful and blessed Navratri. May the divine grace of Ma Skanda Mata fill our lives with positivity, prosperity, and courage to keep moving forward. Thank you and Jai Mata Di.
Thank you, guys, and I hope, how would I get all these pictures that you clicked?
Yes, we will get it from the artist.
In a day or so? Yes, because I didn't click any picture over here. Thank you so much, guys.
Hello, guys, please be seated for a while.